Hey everybody, welcome back. So I obviously struck a few nerves last week with my video on self-sabotage. I have gotten a few messages throughout the week, and I just want to say to those of you that watched the video and then found the courage to kind of check yourself on the excuses that you're making, and you got brutally honest with yourself, I just want to say I am proud of you, and keep it up. Now, about 2 weeks ago, I challenged you to write down your what ifs and your fears. And the reason that I wanted you to write them down is because I believe it is so important to be prepared for those fears to come. Because like I said a million times, and I'll say it a million more, I don't believe in fearless. Look, if you're not under pressure, cool, be as fearless as you want. But when you are under pressure, when something is at stake, when you truly care about the result, I believe fear is coming every time. And if you don't believe me, just look at me. My job is to help some of the most successful women in the world. These women that we see and think, gosh, I wish I could be fearless like them. My whole job is to help them learn how to handle those fears in their pressure moments so they can reach their fullest potential. So, let's talk about why it's so important that we be prepared for these fears. Now, something happened to me this summer that I think is a great example of why it is so important. So I run in the mornings. I'm thankful that it helps me physically, but really I do it for my mental health. It is my happy place. It is my most creative time of day. I have my best thoughts out there. I just love it. It is my happy place. Now, I live in the South, and this summer, the heat was absolutely brutal. So I was having to go out on my runs really early in the morning while it was still dark. Now, this particular morning, I went out on my run, and I usually, go on my usual path. But for whatever reason, that morning, I decided to go into a cul-de-sac, I guess, just to get a few more steps. I was just gonna run in and out. But as I ran into this cul-de-sac, I looked down and I see an enormous snake by my foot. Now, I don't know about you, but snakes for me, pure terror, okay? Pure terror. And I almost just stepped on one. So when I see this snake, I go into panic and I just sprint as fast as I can to get away from it. And so as I'm turning around the cul-de-sac, it's starting to dawn on me that I am in a cul-de-sac and I'm going to have to come back out of the cul-de-sac and pass this snake. Now, my first instinct is to go through the grass, but what if it went into the grass and I step on it? That what if with the worst case scenario attached, right? So I don't want to go into the grass. So I am seriously in the dark with my hands on my knees, leaning over, straining, taking baby steps because I don't want to come near this thing, trying desperately to see where this snake is so I can go in the opposite direction. Well, after a few minutes, I finally spot it and I do run through the grass to get to the other side. And when I feel like I'm out of danger, I pick up my phone and I call Sean and I freak out. Oh my gosh, I almost stepped on this snake and then I couldn't find it. And, I was just straining to find it. He knows how afraid I am of snakes. But anyway, finally he interrupts me and he goes, why didn't you just use your flashlight? Oh, the flashlight on my phone that I'm using right now? I promise you, it didn't even dawn on me to pull out my flashlight. You know why? Because when we are in panic, our brains shut down. When we are in panic, we can't think straight. When we are in panic, we're pretty much idiots, right? And maybe this is sounding a little bit familiar to you, like, oh my gosh, that's exactly how I was walking into my presentation in panic and my brain shut down. Oh my gosh, that's exactly how I felt walking into my meeting with my boss. Or that's how I felt walking into my competition or standing behind the blocks getting ready to race. I was in panic and I couldn't think straight, right? Now, I want to take it a little bit further. Because after that, the next day when I went out, what if I see a snake again is running through my brain? So every twig I see on the road, every leaf I see, what do I think it is? A snake, right? So I am stressed and scared and on edge my entire run. Well, after that, a few days go by and the exact same thing is happening, and it starts to dawn on me, this isn't my happy place anymore. I mean, I'm not even enjoying these runs anymore because I am so stressed and I'm so afraid all the time. And some of you, that may sound familiar. Athletes, I know. Sport, your sport, I love it. That's why I do it. But it's not so much fun anymore. It brings so much stress. You know, I'm on edge all the time. I'm scared all the time. And you start to dread competitions, this sport that you used to love so much. The fear is making you dread these competitions, right? So anyway, I knew I wanted to get my happy place back. I need my runs in the morning. And you know, if I'm going to get my happy place back, I'm going to have to do something about it. So I tried to use the flashlight on my phone, but you know, there's no power in that flashlight. I could only see about an inch in front of me. So I went out and I bought the most powerful mini flashlight that I could find. So now when I go out in the dark, I have this flashlight and I can see about 10 feet in front of me at all times. I am prepared for what's coming. If there is a snake 10 feet in front of me, I don't have to panic. I know what to do, right? Maybe some of you guys are seeing where I'm going with this. When we are prepared for those fears to come, we don't have to go into panic mode. Can you imagine walking into your pressure moment and going, oh, there you are. What if I disappoint everybody? I knew you were coming. Oh, there it is. What if I embarrass myself? I knew you were coming, and you don't have to go into panic mode. Some of you guys need to take that mini powerful flashlight and shine it down into your anchor and get to know those what ifs, because again, they are coming every single time. Now, to close, I want to share with you the challenge that I have been giving to all of my athletes that I work with that have a legit chance of making the Olympic team this summer, and it's this. What you don't bring into the light now, those what ifs, they're in the anchor. I don't want to think about them. They're too embarrassing. I'm just going to keep them down in my anchor. What you don't bring into the light now is going to be what bites you in your ass at Olympic trials. And you are going to miss out on your dream of making the Olympic team. There is so much at stake for all of us. Your dreams are at stake because remember, fear is powerful. Fear has the power to keep us from our dreams, but if we are prepared for that fear, we can overcome it. We can move forward from it. I'll see you next week.